One. Hello, guys. I am Shane Davis, 20-year comic book veteran, and we're going to talk about Eric July today. He does come up time to time. Today's a really weird video from Eric, and I skipped out on Zalen. Okay, I think the last Eric July book I bought was Blood Ruth, and you guys have heard me talk about that. The spread, how it was cut in half, was a thing. You guys maybe remember he thought this was going to be a camera pan. All the books were shipped out before he told everybody he made this decision. He said it was on him. He actually also said that people that, he's willing to hear feedback on it. And, there's been pushback and it's been met with resistance that this wasn't a misprint. It was a creative decision to cut a spread, which is one image that crosses two pages, and cut it up into two and call it a camera pan. This was like one of the craziest things I've ever seen from a publisher trying to convince all the readers who have bought a book that it's not a misprint when it actually is. It clearly is. If you have a copy of the book, you can look at it. There's nothing on the inside cover. If what page one was had been shifted to the inside cover, this would line up correctly. Now, with all that said, we are here today once again on what is probably the second misprint of the Rippaverse, and what I can tell, maybe 3 months. 3 months of publishing, and they're hitting their second misprint. And this time it says, whoops, we made a mistake. And Eric is kind of owning up in it, but probably because there's been a significant drop off since the Blood Ruth books went out. It doesn't matter if it's a creative decision or not. If it doesn't land with people, it just doesn't land with people. If it doesn't read right, then if it looks like a mistake, it's a mistake. I'm not going to get in the weeds on the Blood Ruth thing because I understand why it is the way it is. And Eric has his version of history of why it is the way it is. But today he's admitting there's a mistake. And this is the craziest thing I'm seeing. I'm seeing a publisher get out here and try to take an L and turn it into a W in the weirdest way. So Eric is basically, first, let's talk about the mistake, not what he's doing. So the mistake is on his end. It is not the printers, because I make books. I understand why this happened. This happened because of pre-press. So the spread in question, I'll hit play here and you guys can kind of see.
Obvious during certain double page spreads. As you can see right here, down there, his belt is repeating. To be completely transparent, our art directors actually caught this during the proofing stage. The problem was raised before full production. However, we were assured by our pre-press team that it wouldn't be an issue. That was incorrect. So not only did pre-press give us a green light, but the printer didn't catch the problem during all phases, even in binding.
Okay, so this is a bit of a game of shifting blame, right? It's a game of shifting blame. So the way this works, and I print books, and we've had misprinted books that we didn't ship. So I'm going to walk you guys through what happened here. Pre-press is on his end, not the printer at all. He is the publisher, and this is where terms get kind of weird. But pre-press is done with him. If he outsources it, that's on him. But the pre-press files that go to the printer, they go, are you okay with this? And you have to click yes. And once you click yes, the actual printer doesn't have responsibility on this spread aligning or misaligning once you've approved it, if that's the actual file. This belt, the mistake in the artwork shifting like that, it's part of the pre-press stuff. See, that spread was drawn as 2 comic book pages taped together to make one image. They're lettered that way too, actually. They're lettered on a template as one image. That way you can see how the lettering's reading from top to bottom, left to right. Okay, very simple. It's colored that way as one piece too. But then when it comes to pre-press, it actually still has to then be broken into 2 separate print pages because it's not one sheet of paper anymore. It's actually stapled paper that lines up correctly to make that double page spread. So unless it's right in the middle of the book where the pages fold, then it's technically one sheet of paper. But none of that really matters. What really matters here is it was on Eric's end. The printer will not be redoing this or reimbursing this. So understand that this was not the actual printer that messed up here. It is not the printer's responsibility once you sign off, which it looks like happened here, that the book is okay. And this is on the publisher in the end, not the printer, not the pre-press guy, because the buck does stop with this guy you're looking at here. And he's going to say that they need to look within the company and how they're trying to publish within the US and all of this stuff. Now, where this gets interesting is all these books are still shipping out, even though he has saw and his team have saw that there is a mistake. That shouldn't surprise anyone, because with Bloodroof, they all shipped out to you and they tried to tell you it's a creative decision. He saw that excuse didn't land. And actually, if nobody called out that before, I don't think he would do the video he is today. He'd say this is a creative decision in some weird way. And this is where it gets weird, because and I know he's going to say he doesn't do crowdfunding, even though he does videos about crowdfunding, and he likes to run into the lanes of crowdfunders and use crowdfunding as an example when it services him if a book is late or something like that. Well, his books are so on time that they're misprinted. So what would you rather have, a misprinted book that's on time, hot and ready, or would you like something that is printed correctly? To me, this is the craziest stuff, because as a customer of Eric's and mine, if you go to ingloriousrex.com or you go to 9 Lives Comics, you guys can sign up for Anatomic right now. Our next hit coming out from 9 Lives Comics. Get on that sign up list. But when you purchase from online for books, you're one, buying the book, but you're actually also paying for shipping. So you're making technically one payment, but you're paying for two things, two different services, right? One, the product, and the service of actually shipping. And there's a lot into the shipping, the Gemini mailers, the bags, boards, all of that stuff, right, is in the shipping cost. So these books being messed up isn't slowing Eric down from mailing them to you. And what he's done this time is he said you can mail the books back for what looks like a complete refund. But that seems to be like a question. Do you have to pay for shipping? And I'm sure that might be changing as this video, because this seems like a liquid situation, like it's changing all the time. But one of the things he said in this video is he's basically trying to turn you getting a misprinted book as in a coupon going forward. And this is interesting things to me, because somebody's advising him of this. You get 60% off going forward, anything in this store, which I guess could be a campaign. It could be a hero stash where you stack up all these Rippaverse stuff, and you get a 60% off coupon. Does that go? I don't think it goes into Rippaverse stuff, so it's only his stuff. But you get a 60% coupon for what? To get more misprinted books. You know, it's kind of weird. If this wasn't if this was the first time mistake, I think it would be more acceptable. If this was like he didn't try to gaslight everybody that the other Bloodroof spread was like a creative decision, you know, this would land different in a weird way. He also goes through to show how many spreads they printed correctly in his various books, which I guess is like, okay, so you got 3 out of, you messed up 2 and you got 3 that I guess printed correctly. I don't know. It's like where the tape ends and begins here with this. The turning it into a coupon to try to keep the readers still invested, but shipping everybody a messed up copy of the book, to me, seems crazy. Worse yet, this is coming from Bearwolf 13. He's like, this is a transaction, right, that I can't wrap my head around. We got a supporter of his saying, got email, but my order has not been dispatched yet. So technically he's like, bro, I don't have a tracking order. I got an email. I got misprinted books. He goes, I ordered all 4 books. So he's a big supporter. I hope you are not sending out books until the reprint is resolved. It would look bad to own up to the mistake and continue fulfillment. I live in the UK, so no chance of returns, meaning he's not going to pay to ship these things back to get full value on his return. So basically, he has to pay shipping and probably maybe duties. I don't know, just to get a return. And it's just like, there's a lot of work behind that. He goes, so Eric responds, as mentioned, all orders remain as they are unless one wants the refund. There will only be a reprint of cover D. So for people who understand, he prints like 4 covers, called them A, B, and C. So if he is correcting this and he is going to make a new printing that will be correct, it's only going to be cover D, which he will then put up in his store and sell forever. So basically, from my understanding, everybody who has bought the other 3 books, A through C, you're not getting a corrected version, which then says, well, what version are you getting? And you're getting what ships out. He goes, as you see in the comments, some people still want that book. So he's here trying to leverage his diehard fans that think he can do anything and it's not wrong, that because they still want their books, you're getting a messed up book. You see what I'm saying? This is kind of weird. He goes, yes, but knowingly sending out defective books is a bad look, especially if they have not been dispatched yet, like mine. I just checked. You should halt dispatch shipments of the book to the remaining customers and reprint, which should fall on the printer expense up for the errors. Customers will wait. So it's not going to fall on the printer. That's the problem that nobody's getting. This isn't a printer error. This is his people approved and built the file for the printer, and it was wrong. That's the whole problem, is on Eric's end. The printer's not going to comp him for that. I've had printers comp me when they have messed up printing, and it was on their end. We went back to see whose fault it was, and my files were fine. So they had to reprint the whole entire run of Inglorious Rex free of charge. I didn't pay for anything, and I just had to destroy those books. It did take longer for my customers to get the book because I had to wait for the print job to be redone. It was expedited and everything, but that's the whole situation here, where he's making it completely muddy. These books were already shipped unless they had it in the hero stash. So he's telling the guy, despite that you see that your tracking number or whatever, that your books haven't shipped or you don't have a tracking number, he's telling you they've already shipped. Which, look, who knows? Unless you work for Eric July, you don't know if this is true. This is why we are giving you the option to keep or return it if yours haven't shipped, such as a Hero Stash or Rippaverse International, which this guy is. He's international. The order can be canceled. So he's saying you can cancel your order, but you can't get a corrected version of the book, and I guess unless it's still one cover. It's also encouraged you to read the comments. Not all customers prefer the same, which is why we wanted to give them options. So again, he's leveraging his diehard fans against the people that want a corrected version of the book and a corrected version of the book of the cover they bought, whether it's all 4 or 1 out of the 4. Like Eric is saying, from my understanding, he's only correcting the one cover, the one that will sit in the store forever to be sold. Now, I don't even know how I feel about it, because part of me, I gave up on these books a long time ago. The other part of me is like, you're burning backers' shipping money, customers that are pre-ordering these books. You're burning shipping money. On the other side, you're also got your hand out telling people they need to use your service, Rippaverse, where you're going to write your name on it and you're going to handle the shipping of their books. You're going to handle the pre-press. You're going to handle the actual printing of the book. And I don't really feel as big and boisterous as Eric July talks about knowing business, about being professional and everything else. I have yet to see professional product coming out of this guy, or a professional way to handle this. Again, it's not like comics haven't misprinted before, but see, Marvel and DC don't get their hands on it first. The comic shops do. It goes from the printer to the comic shop, or to Diamond to the comic shop, not to Marvel and DC. They're probably getting the misprinted book the same time the comic book shops are, and they pulp it. They say, destroy all those and we'll send you a whole new printing of that book. However they do it, if they take a loss or if the printer messed up, whatever, it gets fixed, right? In this case, every employee at Rippaverse has handled these books, and hopefully Eric July himself, but he's doubling down on shipping you the bad book rather than halting the shipments. Why are these bad books shipping out? Why isn't Eric taking the blame of this and saying, hey, we're going to reprint these books because you guys deserve that, and yeah, it will take more time, but we have to do it. Instead, it's only cover D that's getting reprinted, the one cover that's the infinite cover that you'll be able to buy within his shop, and will always be self-serving to him. It's, guys, here's my stance right now with Eric. I don't really care to hear his opinion about what professionalism is. If he cannot get in front of a bad situation and fix it, yes, it will take some money and it will take some time. But those are things within, hopefully within his reach, is money and time. And just fix it. Just fix it. Like, tell everybody, reprint those books and send them a new book. But see, a lot of shipping money has been spent. Why even ship those books? Like, why burn through everybody's shipping money? And that was my biggest issue with the Bloodroof fiasco. In both cases, he's sitting out a video saying how something is a Jedi mind trick that he messed up a spread, or the printing is messed up in pre-press on his end, not the printer. And again, like both situations, he's just not handling it correctly, which is, don't ship those books. Don't ship those books. Why would you ship those books? Why are you paying employees to ship out bad product that then you have to do a video covering for the bad product? Like, I mean, you're wasting the shipping money. It's the craziest thing I've seen, and in comics in general. And I don't know, man. I'm kind of at a point of, this guy doesn't need to talk anything about other creators. He doesn't need to talk about business practices or anything till he gets, like, I don't know, like, how many months that we don't have a printing error at Rippaverse sign is on right now, and it keeps resetting. Anyways, if you guys will hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notification. Don't forget to sign up for Anatomic on 9 Lives Comics, hopefully launching soon. And I'll leave you guys with a trailer for this smash hit book coming at you, a prequel series. Plus, you can get Inglorious Rex. Just so you guys know, this is a prequel to Inglorious Rex, which you can buy on 9livescomics.com shop, and it ships out next day. But I'll leave you guys with the trailer for this comic. Let me know what you think about this situation in the comments below, and we'll catch you guys again with another video.
If fighting was a god, I would worship him. I would bow to him. I would pray for victory. For he only grants opportunities. But behind every god lurks a devil. And the devil wants me to take a dive. My name is Anatomic. And this is how my legend was made.